Cofely has won a 40-year concession agreement to supply district energy, that's heating, cooling and low carbon electricity, to this area of East London. We have a biomass boiler, a 3.5 megawatt biomass boiler, which runs on wood chip. Biomass is just used for the heating rather than the electricity. Biomass is sustainable because it's low carbon, and the wood chip that we use is from sustainable sources. Under the contract we have to run the biomass, we have to source the wood chip from within 50 kilometres of the energy centre. The suppliers we have are obliged to replant. The biomass boilers have been successfully replacing communal gas boilers in a number of places. So if there is any, for example, price spikes in natural gas, for instance, we can use more biomass. If there was an issue with another fuel source, we are able to switch in something else. So it gives us a bit of an insurance policy.
Just on the biomass part, we run the shift team here 24/7, including the biomass boiler, where we do checks from the control room and also visual checks and manual checks.
So here, this is controlling all the water treatment. It's important because we need to treat the water on the system because it's giving more efficiency to the heat exchangers in the system, because if we don't treat the water, it will just foul up the heat exchanger, and then we will be doing repairs every 2 to 3 months instead of every 6, 8 months or even yearly. This is one of our biomass silos. We have a delivery 7 days a week, 24 tonne of wood chip per delivery, and on this, out of this we burn 1 tonne an hour.
When we're due a biomass delivery, we do the 3 tests, moisture test, density test and a particle test. If it fails any of these tests, we reject the load. These settings are in place so that we know within the moisture content how much wood needs to be pushed into the boiler. If it's too wet, we push more. If it's too dry, it's less. So we can run the boiler efficiently. We've got a problem within one of our customers. We can go onto the PC, onto the screens, and we can open the valve, close the valve, give them more heat or take away more heat, or on the cooling, give them more cooling directly from the PC. Sometimes the customer doesn't even know that we've done it. I believe my job is helping the environment, because what we're doing here is saving every resident, every structure having a boiler within their property. You don't have to have a boiler, you don't have to worry about the maintenance of your boiler. It's all coming from one place within the energy centre.
À Londres, nous avons installé une chaudière qui est alimentée avec de la plaquette forestière. C'est toujours des techniciens de chez nous qui nous déplaçons pour mettre en route et pour former. On a 3-4 jours de formation pendant lesquels on explique les différents équipements, le principe de fonctionnement de l'ensemble. On va expliquer en effet ce que c'est le bois, ce que c'est le matériel qui est mis en place sur cette installation, comment ça va fonctionner, expliquer les principes de la combustion. On leur apprend, quand on regarde une flamme, voir si la combustion est bonne. Ensuite, on leur apprend à regarder un rendement. Bon, pour obtenir un bon rendement sur une chaudière, il faut avoir un équipement qui est propre, il faut avoir un taux d'oxygène qui est faible. On leur explique pourquoi il faut avoir ces paramètres.
I'm an emergent technology specialist, and I look into different technologies that we can use in our existing district heating schemes that we might not necessarily use at the moment. Certainly not as much use of biomass in the UK as there is in a lot of continental European countries. I think the reasons are historical. During the oil price shocks of the 1970s, significant price rises in oil, a lot of continental European countries looked at other ways to produce useful energy. A lot of them looked into district heating and renewable energy technologies. The UK was relatively insulated from those impacts by finding a lot of North Sea gas that it could utilise, and so there was a large-scale gas network installed across the majority of the UK, and we had relatively cheap available energy, and we didn't have to put the effort in back then into these renewable technologies. And the legacy of that really is that we're far less developed in terms of renewable technologies now compared to where we could be and where we should be. I think the future will see far more renewable energy installed in the UK, certainly more renewable heating. The government's recognised that space heating and industrial heating in the UK is responsible for almost half of our carbon emissions, so something has to be done. Biomass is a part of that solution.